In a land filled with sunshine and song, there stood a tall golden fort. Fluttering flags danced in the breeze, and birds sang sweet melodies all day long. Inside this magnificent fort lived a curious little princess named Amara. She had bouncing curls that shimmered like spun gold and quick, nimble feet. But most of all, Amara had a mind brimming with questions that never seemed to rest. Why do clouds change shape so often? She would ponder, gazing at the sky. Can the stars really hear our wishes when we whisper them at night? Does the wind ever get tired of running and playing through the trees? The palace walls often echoed with the sound of her endless curiosity. Her mother, Queen Maya, a wise and gentle ruler, would smile at her daughter's inquisitiveness. She would gently tap Amara's nose with affection and say, "My dear, your curiosity shines brighter than gold." One cheerful morning, as the sun painted the sky with vibrant colors, a messenger arrived. He carried a carefully wrapped gift made of clay. When the cloth was lifted, everyone gasped in amazement at the sight before them. It was a beautiful clay sculpture, intricately carved with swirling flowers and tiny birds. Dancing patterns adorned its surface, making it seem almost alive. It looked so real that Amara felt as if the birds might fly away at any moment. Queen Maya was deeply impressed by the craftsmanship and artistry of the sculpture. "This is truly an extraordinary piece," she said, admiring the delicate details. But Amara's eyes sparkled even more brightly, with a burning desire to know more. "Who could have made such a wonderful thing?" she asked, her voice filled with wonder. "And how did they manage to turn soft clay into something so perfect and lasting?" The only answer they received was that the sculpture came from a small shop located in the city below the fort. That night, Amara lay awake in her bed, watching the moonlight. It painted silver lines on her wall, sparking her imagination and fueling her curiosity. Her heart fluttered with excitement at the thought of discovering the secrets behind the clay sculpture. As dawn painted the sky with soft pink hues, Amara made a decision. Quietly, she wrapped herself in a warm scarf and tiptoed past the sleepy guards. She slipped out of the fort and into the world beyond its wall. Outside the fort, the world felt wide, noisy, and utterly wonderful. She wandered through the bustling city, her eyes wide with amazement. She passed fruit sellers calling out their prices and children chasing spinning tops. She asked many kind people for directions, her voice filled with polite curiosity. After what seemed like a long journey, Amara finally reached a tiny clay shop. The shop was filled with pots and figures of all shapes and sizes. Inside, a boy about her age worked carefully at a spinning wheel. His hands were covered in soft brown clay, skillfully shaping it into different forms. "Hello," Amara said brightly, her voice filled with excitement. "Did you make the Queen's beautiful clay gift?" The boy looked up and smiled. "My father made it," he replied. "I helped him a little. I'm Arin." Amara's eyes widened. "Can clay really turn into anything?" she asked. Arin nodded with a smile. "If you're patient and kind to it, it can," he replied. He showed her how the clay is pressed, rolled, and shaped with gentle hands. Amara tried making a cup, but it leaned sideways as if it wanted to take a nap. They laughed together at her wobbly creation and then made tiny animals and funny shapes. They shared stories and dreams as they worked side by side. Suddenly, the sound of royal horns echoed through the city streets. "Oh no," Amara gasped, her eyes wide with worry. "My mother will be terribly worried about me." Aaron offered to walk her back to the fort, his face filled with concern. At the fort gates, Queen Maya rushed forward, her heart filled with relief. Amara held up her clay figures and said proudly, "This is my new friend Aaron. He showed me how clay can be transformed into beautiful art." The queen smiled warmly at Aaron and Amara, her eyes filled with affection. "You are always welcome here, Aaron," she said, extending a gracious invitation. From that day on, Amara visited the clay shop often, eager to learn more from Aaron. Aaron also visited the fort, sharing his stories and laughter with Amara and the queen. They shared stories, laughter, and creativity, their friendship blossoming with each passing day. And so, Amara's curiosity became an exciting adventure, and that adventure blossomed into a beautiful and lasting friendship.